What's up, guys? Hope everyone's well. I'm going to be moving over to audio only, just to, keep my identity out of the way so that I can focus on saying what I want to say and really just, enjoy myself, because the video is really not my medium, and I really do not desire to have my face or whatever out there. Really, it's just about the information. So, yeah, and today I just wanted to talk about the Noetic Affects of Sin. Now, obviously, this idea may be new to a lot of people. If you're familiar with Orthodox theology and literature and writings of the saints, etc., then it's probably not going to be new. But if you are dabbling into Orthodox spirituality and theology, then it is going to be new. And basically, one thing that struck me, and it's funny because it's not that long ago that I first read C.S. Lewis's Mere Christianity. And the first chapter of that book is called Right and Wrong as a Clue to the Meaning of the Universe. Now, it's a cool name for a chapter, but the profundity in the messages that are divulged in that chapter have such far-reaching implications and effects for not just human beings, right, but the entire universe, as is alluded to in the chapter. And the reason for that is because, and I'm going to get, this is going to be a shorter talk just to introduce the idea, but I will be doing future talks. But the reason for that is because when we look at, for example, Demitri Stano, who is a modern Orthodox theologian, he wrote I think it's a 5 or 6 volume set of Orthodox dogmatic theology, and the first book in that set is The Experience of God. And in it, he talks about how the entirety of reality is set up in such a way that it is ordered, it is logical, it is rational, okay? It presents itself for rational inquiry and investigation. And it just so happens that man is endowed with the tools that enable him to partake in rational inquiry. Now, the reason that's important is because what it's indicating, and Stanislaw goes on to talk about this, what it's indicating is that reality in the world was made for man, you see. Man was not made for reality of the world. What I'm saying is that the reality was made with man in mind, okay? It's very clear in the Bible that we are supposed to be stewards of the world. We have dominion over reality. We are the crown of creation. And the reason that's important is because such a responsibility does not find itself in the hands of those who do not know how to correctly use their minds, the faculties that we've been endowed with to partake in this rational inquiry. What do I mean? Morality, okay? The morality is not just about right and wrong and all these things. It is, but really it's about the correct usage of the human machine. And when we correctly use, right, because remember, since we are created with a purpose. We are designed with a purpose. And this means that we do not get to decide or choose how we use our bodies and how we use these faculties. The purpose is built into the design. So when we talk about, for example, the 10 Commandments and the indications of how we should behave, what we should do, this is the correct usage of the human machine. And when you use the machine in the correct manner, God, you imitate God, right? By definition, you imitate God, and in doing so, you unlock and gradually reveal and unfold the faculties and tools that you have been gifted with as the crown of creation, you see. What I'm saying is, when you actually obey the commandments and behave in a correct manner, not only does your entire body and your being okay, you're not rebuked by your conscience, you actually feel good, but you actually end up purifying your mind, your heart, your intellect, which enables you to then continue on the path and wisdom, right? Know how to behave, not just what you want to do and I want to do something. Like, what is the correct manner in how I should navigate said situation? This is not something that is natural to man, and this is since the fall, of course. People do not know how to navigate the world and their lives. They don't know how to correctly use their faculties. And the reason I'm saying this is because the opposite is also true. When we fail to obey the commandments, when we fail to behave in the correct manner, the opposite happens, and what you have is a situation where the machine is breaking down. The nous, in Orthodox theology, we have the doctrine of the nous, and the nous is the divine component of our intellect, and that divine component of our intellect connects us to the universal knowledge and wisdom that is our birthright and belongs to God, and by extension to us if we imitate God. And we all have darkened or cloudy nooses as a result of the fall and as a result of how we have spent most of our lives in sin. So when we begin behaving in the correct manner, this allows our nous to begin becoming purified. And St. Gregory Palamas talks about this phenomenon a lot in his writings. He talks about how the uncreated light that comes about as a result of us partaking in God's divine energies gradually purifies our intellect, purifies our nous, and enables us to partake in the universal knowledge of God. It gives us insight into the mysteries that, for someone who has not been on a long path of obeying the commandments and purifying their intellect, these mysteries are simply unavailable to them. Now, what exactly, how does this differ? What is the main difference between these two types of knowledge? Because, someone could say, oh yeah, but obviously we can all learn stuff, we can be super smart, we can go and study and we can read books and all these things. And this is true, but this is not the type of knowledge that we're referring to. And again, Gregory Palamas elucidates this distinction very clearly, that relative and worldly knowledge that comes about through our efforts and reading and studying, the divine supernatural knowledge comes about only through the grace of God in response to our obedience to the commandments. And this is the main difference. You cannot study, right, and attain to the knowledge of God and the mysteries of God. You cannot input worldly effort and then get out the mysteries of God. It doesn't work like that. It's a supernatural knowledge that only comes about in response to our personal efforts and I mean efforts with regard to our spiritual nature. Again, we have worldly knowledge and we have spiritual knowledge, and this spiritual knowledge only comes about through us purifying our intellect and working on the spiritual component of our being. The worldly knowledge only comes about when we engage in the methods and techniques that are the result of worldly knowledge, you see. So it's very different. So I am going to be talking a lot about this concept in the future, but I just wanted to start off the series by dropping that quick video and just saying that I'm going to be doing audio more, and I write as well. So my Substack is, I'll put my Substack in the description, but I write about these sorts of things. But yeah, I think I'll start doing pods, and so thank you for listening, and I'll speak to you next time.